Sky Squad, let's talk about love and hip hop. Yes, we are back with another episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let me see what episode this is. What episode we on? We on season 12, episode 6. It's called Astral Projecting. It says when Bambi grills Zell about his recent fun in the sun, he reveals his new fling might not be the only one he'll be calling baby. Yandy and Mendeecees try to repair their bond, and Jasmine discovers that receipts are a girl's best friend. So we're gonna get into the Jasmine of it all because to me, that was probably the storyline that I've been waiting on to move forward the fastest. So before we get into that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, and join the community, baby. Go ahead and subscribe and smack it up and flip it and rub it down. Y'all know what I'm talking about, that like button, baby. Okay? Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about Jasmine and these receipts, baby. Okay, because that to me is the top storyline of the day. So, in order for us to really talk about this, we're going to talk about what happened in the episode, and we're also going to talk about what's happening next week. Because honestly, to me, this is the story that I'm just like, what WTF the most with, right? So, and it feels like something cringe happens every week, okay, before the episode airs with Kirk and Rashida. You know, last week it was the video that kind of surfaced with Kirk and Rashida and Kirk's mother-in-law, you know, kind of grinding up on him a little bit in a joking way. You know what I'm saying? This week, I got to go ahead and show y'all. I mean, can I show it? I don't really know. It's YouTube, so I ain't trying to get myself in no trouble, but it's basically a video of Kirk filming Rashida, daring her, I guess, to go into the pool and take a swim or something like that. Daring her to, like, he's gonna pay her $500 or something like that, or something or other to go into the pool, and there she go, hot stepping it out into the pool in her bathing bloomers and no shirt on. She take her shirt off so you can see her back. And I just, because it's YouTube, I don't want to, get in. I don't want to ruffle no feathers or nothing like that. But it was funny to me in the context because that was the previous post, right? If you look, I'm gonna put the link in the description down below so you guys can see it for yourself. But then right after that, it says, speaking of Kirk and Rashida, thank you for the neighborhood talk for this. Okay, this is via Love and Hip Hop. Okay, you see the next week's episode, and you will see that the receipts that were shown in tonight's episode. Now, granted, I don't feel like I got to see the full receipt on this episode, so I want to see what the full receipt is next week. But basically, these are receipts that show that, let me put the alleged badge up here because, again, I can't see him, so I can't verify. Jasmine showing Rashida the text of Kirk alleging to offer her to pay her more for some cooter. So he's gonna pay her more money for the baby if she give him some cooter. The reason all this came out is because, as Jasmine stated last night, I never would have said any of this, but basically she said to Yandy and Carly Red, because Kirk tried to say that I was coming to the door in my birthday suit, bucket naked, I'm going to now expose him. And I got the receipts to prove it. And she said that to Carly and Yandy in this episode. So let's get into it. So the biggest part of this episode to me was Diamond Dale's birthday extravaganza. Okay, it was a Bachelorette extravaganza. My apologies. Okay, and it's so interesting to me because there's so much focus on Diamond Dale, but in my mind, I'm like, is she even a cast member on this show like that, or is she part time? I can't never tell who's really. I mean, I guess if you own the show, you just even if you get a scene, you own the show. But we know that she's getting married to a boxer, and the wedding is happening in Alaska. I'm assuming that's where he's either from or resides. I really don't know. All I know is that she's having this negligee themed bachelorette party with strippers. All the girls are invited. Well, not all of them, but Amy Luciani, Erica Banks, and Erica Banks is going to be one of her bridesmaids. I'm like, when did y'all become that close? And is this a friendship that we just hadn't been seeing? And maybe I missed it last season because I wasn't recapping last season. My bad. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, this is all cute and all good and whatnot. But why? Okay, I'm just gonna let it go. Maybe Diamondale is a cast member. Fine. The thing about it is Diamondale has invited Jasmine. So you got Carly Red, who outed Kirk and Jasmine the first time. Yandy is in the building, who is having marital issues of her own. And then it is told to the group that Jasmine has dropped tea about Kirk again in the present day. So Carly Red brings Jasmine over to Yandy so they can have a little private ponderosa because Yandy is really good friends with Rashida. Yandy really ain't here for Jasmine anyway, so even when Jasmine introduces herself, Yandy's just looking at her kind of crazy. And so Carly proceeds to start asking Jasmine about what it is that's going on. So Jasmine lets it be known. Like, I wouldn't even brought this information out if he hadn't said what he said about me coming to the door bucket naked, allegedly. So she get to telling Carly Red, she get to showing some receipts on the phone. Basically, these are supposed to be text messages where Kirk is allegedly offering her more money if she gives him some of the cooter. Now, I don't know. It ain't ever discussed whether or not she took alleged money for the cooter, but we know that it has happened, okay? Or at least it has been offered. Now, if she did take the money, then they tangoing again. If she didn't take the money, then okay, he got some things to answer for. But it don't seem like Rashida care at all, to be honest with you. Even when you watch that clip, her face is just sitting there looking like, and that's the clip for next week. And the fact that, she's dilly-dallying around the house, as he dares her to take off her clothes and jump in the pool, it seemed like things is fine. Okay. Now, I'm reading in the comment section how a lot of people are like, well, everybody mad but Rashida. And honestly, that might be the case. Hold on, let me take a sip of my my dirty water. Yes, coffee substitute. Clink, clink, clink. So maybe she don't care. Maybe the fact that they are getting paid for all of this drama is enough for Rashida to be like, I don't care. And that's why I said last time, move Jasmine in the house. If y'all really want to up the ante on this story, move her in the house. That will set it off. Okay. That will set it off. Because right now, it just looks like Rashida is being continuously punked because she ain't having no reaction. And I think that's the thing. It would be a difference if we could say, like, she was running around slapping him about the face. And I don't condone that. Trust and believe. But it would, if we saw some semblance of like a pop off or a little bit of anger, you know what I'm saying? And y'all forgive me for that, because that popping him about the face is not nice. That's not, don't do that. Okay. I would not advise. I'm just saying, I'm looking for a reaction and I'm not getting one. So it's curious to me, like, how real is this? And if it is real, why are you not reacting? You might need to take some type of acting lessons in order for me to, I mean, and I want you to win, babe. I want you to win, babes. Babes. I want you to win. I really do. Really do. Want to see you on this show forever, until season 85. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm just kind of I can't get with it. I don't understand, right? And I don't think any of us do. So Jasmine is walking around with a phone full of receipts. And I'm thinking to myself, well, when Carly was like, and that's it. So I don't know how deep the receipts go, but Yandy is not trying to hear it. Yandy don't want to see no receipts. Yandy is firmly team Rashida. I don't care if I don't care if it does say that. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You should have had a conversation with Rashida about this first. And Jasmine's looking at her like, I haven't even heard from this woman. I don't have her number. And so Yandy is like, well, you should try to develop a better relationship with her so you can know what's going on with your child while she's under their care. Jasmine's like, the 3 times out of the year when they are in their care, you want me to pick up the phone and be calling her and asking her? If they had him more, maybe I would call her more. I mean, listen, I don't know what the truth is about their visitation and how often they do have said child, but I would hope that it's more than the alleged every 3 months that Jasmine said, or whatever she said. Every 3 months, every quarter, I don't know. Every full moon, whatever. So yeah, I just don't know. And Yandy, to me, I think that Yandy is coming from a place of, since we did revisit some of Yandy's previous issues, which was very smart editors. I didn't even rate this episode. I'm gonna rate it an 8. I can't give it no more than that because I don't understand a couple of things about this episode, and I felt like y'all needed a better refresher for me. Okay, that's my rating. Yandy to me seems to be reacting from a place of, I'm hurting in my marriage, but also too, I've dealt with the baby mama situation as well, and it has taken us a long time to get to this place. So outside of this situation, this scandal allegedly with Jasmine, what Yandy is offering her is sage advice, but nobody's trying to hear that in the middle of an argument. You can't tell somebody something like that in such a heated debate because they're not going to hear you. You know what I'm saying? So she's offering wisdom, but not in a way that's easily received because y'all in an argumentation. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, and don't make the mistake of me thinking that, oh, Jasmine's in the right. I'm just saying that I don't understand the patterns within Kirk and Rashida's arrangement, okay, and how they deal with this situation. That is what I don't understand. And in the way that Jasmine presents her information and makes her case, she does a better job than Kirk. That's what I'm saying. Moreover, she handles the conflict with Rashida's friends better than they do, meaning she tends to remain somewhat calm in almost a taunting manner. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in a confrontation, in an argument, to me, I'm trying not to lose my cool. The only way that I'm really gonna lose it is usually if I'm intoxicated. That's why I don't drink that much. Anyway, I digress. At the end of the day, Jasmine is like, F Kirk and F Rashida too. What y'all think? Y'all think Rashida gonna have any kind of reaction next week? Because I don't. Mind you, next week I will not be here. I will be traveling. And I didn't get no screener for Love and Hip Hop. So BET, Paramount, VH1, MTV, can y'all help a brother out? Can y'all give a brother screener access? Thank you. Hopefully somebody is watching that can do something and get me some access. Okay. Because I like to be able to review the show before I leave so I can have it ready for y'all like I will for Love and Marriage Huntsville, hopefully. Okay. And We TV, the Braxtons. Okay. Let us continue. The next storyline that we're going to talk about, since Yandy is the topic of conversation, can somebody remind me why Yandy and Mendeecees are having all these problems? I mean, is it all the girl, look, the girl that Yandy had adopted? Is it that? Is she trying to adopt somebody else? Something happened last season with some with some embryos or something like that. Was she about to give an embryo away or something like that, and he ain't like it? I don't really know. Like in my mind, I'm like, was y'all gonna use it, or was it just because if you think about it like this, you know, it's interesting to me when I think about it. I don't know much about the fertilization process. You know what I'm saying? The IVFs, the IVUs, or the IVIs, or whatever it is. All I know is that it is an alternative, right? Now, um, and hopefully y'all can explain it to me in the comment section down below, because I'm about to make a parallel. And it could be an unjust parallel, but it's a parallel nonetheless. Now, unless the man has had a vasectomy, okay, if you think about it, any emissions that come from a man, I mean, contain sperm counts. Okay. Now, if by nature of you being a man, you are probably wasting quite a bit of sperm count on a yearly basis, monthly, weekly, daily, however many times you might waste it. Not in the presence of your wife. I don't know. And I'm not saying he cheating. I'm just saying there's a five-finger thing that we got going on here that we got to talk about. So if you think about it in the context of technicality, you could say that you waste a good amount of yours, but you got to be in control of what she do with hers. Now, unless these were fertilized eggs, then I don't understand. Do y'all get what I'm saying? And if I'm confusing, I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk around the topic so that I can keep it on the YouTube. Now, having said that, I don't know if that is their main issue. What I do know is, as a viewer who did not watch last season, so I could be a little bit off here, but as I was watching it, I'm thinking to myself, this woman held him down while he was in the prison. So I'm trying to understand for the life of me what his issue is with her now. He don't want to wear the wedding ring. They going to counseling. The counseling not working. He thinks she's trying to be a victim. And I'm like, what are you mad about? Like, they growing apart, and he feels like they're not together. And he's not going to put on the ring, and because he don't care about which, because, and I don't think that he's looking at this from the perspective of, he thinks, well, Yandy wants me to wear this ring because, what will the people think? What will the blogs think? And I do think that that's fair. But I think it's also something to be said for the fact that you look around this franchise and you look around this show and you are looking at the Kirks of it all, and you're just having to think to yourself, like, my person is not wearing their wedding ring, so it feels like they have taken away a layer of our union. And I don't think that he sees it in that way. I think that he sees it like, well, she just care about what everybody else think. But I'm like, you don't even care what she think. Like, I feel like if y'all make an agreement that y'all deciding that y'all getting married, then I think that that's the sole case for keeping that ring on. I mean, unless you just take it off for certain purposes, right? But when you purposely decide to take it off and leave it off, then that sends a signal to, I think, me and the rest of the world that you don't want to be in that relationship anymore. And you're going to put it back on when you feel better. Like what? Like how? And who knows what that will be? That's just very confusing to me. And I don't know. I don't know what to say about it because I don't understand his issue. So if y'all can enlighten me, let me know. The final thing that we got to talk about is Zell has essentially went to Mexico with a group of his friends and hooked up with a girl unprotected, and then they came back and they were still hooking up. The girl receives that he sometimes likes to sleep with men's. He sometimes likes to sleep with the women's. She takes that well. I was curious how that was going to play out because my assumption is that a lot of women would like to know that ahead of time, but I could be wrong because people are a lot freer in this generation. I'm talking like I'm like 89 years old or something like that. Anyway, what I'm saying is usually I didn't know how that was going to play out. I'll be honest. I was curious. I was like, how this about to go? But she did not go off. She was just very much like, as long as you're taking care of yourself. So both of them are all good health-wise, but she is expecting. And he lets Bambi and Jessica White know at a medium psychic reading. I can't recall what it was. So, Bambi is going to be there for for him and the baby and the girl, depending on what they decide to do with the, I based on next week, I can't tell if she's thinking about, terminating the pregnancy, but I don't know how that's going to work out. So I'm assuming next week he's going to tell Saucy Santana, but Saucy is in a relationship with Chef D or something like a relationship. So I don't know where this is going to go. I do think it would be fascinating if she does keep the baby, just to see how that pans out. Because at the end of the day, he seemed like he was warming up to the idea of being a father. I mean, and I think it'll be a definite lifestyle change for him. So I don't know. I have no idea where this is going. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. But those were literally the three stories that we had percolating last night. So let me know what y'all thought about this episode in the comment section down below. What do you think about Kirk and Rashida of it all? And what is going on with Yandy and Mendeecees? I really don't understand their issues. So if somebody can help me out, I would love it. All right. So with that being said, listen, y'all, we still have the ebook and a day course. Link is down in the description down below. Thailand is still happening March 1st through the 7th of 2025. I have some news about another trip. It's a smaller, more intimate trip as well, coming up, I think, in next April. Lots of things going on. Bali, we are headed to Bali at the end of September. So it's on and popping. So make sure you guys keep it locked onto the channel if you are looking to travel and, explore some parts of the world that you've never been to before or go back, then pop into these trips. You can click all of that, get my books, all of that in the link in the description down below. And with that being said, I will catch you in the next video.